the fact that you are now where you are, how has that changed the way, I suppose, your family deals with that? Does faith figure much, I suppose, in the Peterson family now when it comes to the way you just approach life together, having been through this extraordinary few years?
Well, I had plans to enter into the Catholic Church at Easter, and so a couple of weeks before, my daughter Michaela called me and said that she was going to be baptized. And she was going to be baptized on the same day that I was going to be confirmed into the church. And I thought, wow, that's a prayer for me that's answered. You know, when the kids were very, very young, I wanted to baptize the kids, and Jordan wasn't interested in it, and I didn't persist, so I didn't baptize them. But it was always something that was heavy on my heart that I hadn't baptized my kids. But I was overjoyed that Michaela was going to enter the church. So yes, it's changed things. You know, Michaela used to say to me, you know, I'd tell her stories about, and I see miracles in my life every day because I pray the rosary. I try to get myself in the morning so that if there's anything on my mind, that I've given it to God as soon as I wake up, and so that I'm ready for whatever challenges God is going to give me for the day. And so, and now and then I'd have challenges, and they'd work out in ways that I hadn't looked at, because I'm pausing and waiting for the way things are supposed to be, rather than imposing my will, you know. Yeah. And I'd call Michaela and tell her these stories, and she'd say, "Mom, I'm not there yet." And I'd say, "Well, that's okay. I just want to tell you what's going on in my life." And then eventually she called me and she said, "Yeah, I think something's happened to me." And so she's now baptized and really trying very hard to have God's will give her the guidance that she needs to. And the thing is, our family is definitely in the public eye. And so if we're going to be of service, this is the best way to do it, I think. So I'm all in as far as this goes.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about your faith. You've mentioned a little bit about Michaela's journey. I know many people in my circle of acquaintances for whom Jordan himself has been quite instrumental in them actually opening the door to faith. Many people for whom he's kind of opened up the whole idea of faith and religion, allowed them to take it seriously again. People who perhaps were very persuaded at one time by the Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris's, you know, sort of dismissing faith and so on. Obviously, Jordan approaches it very much through a psychological lens and through that Jungian kind of framework and so on, when he's talking about the value of the Bible and so on. Do you get a sense of how he kind of makes sense of all this from where he's standing?
I don't get it. I don't get a sense of it, really. I don't get a sense of it. He's got a great understanding of it. He knows the stories. He's getting so he knows the stories very well and understands what they mean, which is really helpful. It's so helpful. His interpretations of the stories, it's like, yeah, that's what that means. I get it now. And that's why people are listening to him, is because they do get it now. And his story and his journey, that's Jordan's journey. And he'll enlighten us as it happens. And I don't have any more information than anybody else does. But he's watching me. But he's definitely watching me. And he sees the changes that have come, and he can't understand it. And so he knows what it is. He's seen it now, very close hand. So we'll see what happens.